Overthinking is like a silent storm that takes over your thoughts and steals your peace. It's easy to get stuck in a loop, thinking about things that already happened, stressing about the future, or analyzing the present too much. When your mind feels heavy and full of noise, you may feel confused and tired. But you're not the only one feeling this way. Many people struggle with the same mental noise. Buddhism shares old but helpful ideas that can teach us how to calm our minds and feel more at peace. In this video, we will look at 6 simple and powerful lessons from Buddhism that can help bring peace, focus, and balance into your life. These teachings can guide you to a place of calm and clarity. Let's take this step together and find the peace that has always been inside us, just waiting to be found. Number 1. Stay in the present moment. Many times we get stuck thinking about what has already happened or what might happen next. We may feel sad about the past or worried about the future. We ask ourselves, what if things had gone differently? What if something bad happens? These thoughts create stress and take us away from the moment we're in now. But the past is over, and the future hasn't come yet. Buddha's teachings help us remember that the present is all we truly have. He said, "Do not stay in the past, do not dream of the future. Focus your mind on the present moment." This simple message asks us to let go of what we cannot change and what we do not yet know, and instead be fully aware of what is happening right now. As you listen this, you are living in the present. This moment is real. This is where life happens. When you stop letting the past and future control your thoughts, your mind becomes lighter. You feel more calm. The constant thinking and worrying begin to fade away when you allow yourself to simply be in the now. There's a story about a wise monk walking by a river with his young student. The monk stepped into the water calmly, but the student hesitated. He feared the water might sweep him away. Seeing his fear, the monk said, "The river always flows, but to cross safely, you must be present and trust each step." This story reminds us that overthinking can stop us from moving forward. Fear and regret can freeze us. But if we trust the moment and focus on what's right in front of us, we can move with life, not against it. So remember, peace is found not in yesterday or tomorrow, but in the now. Let go of what was. Don't fear what might be. Just be here, fully, right now. Number 2. Let go of what you can't control. The more we think about things we can't change, the more we suffer. We often go over the same thoughts again and again, wondering what if, imagining the worst, or holding on to people or situations we have no power over. But all this thinking only brings more stress, worry, and pain. The Buddha taught that our suffering doesn't come from what happens to us, but from how we hold on to those things. In other words, it's not the event itself, but our reaction that causes pain. When we get stuck thinking about things beyond our control, we make ourselves feel worse. So how do we stop this pain? We start by accepting that we can't control everything. Life will always have ups and downs. Trying to control every outcome only adds pressure and stress. But when we accept things as they are, we open the door to peace. Ask yourself, can I change this? If the answer is no, then take a deep breath and let it go. Don't waste your energy fighting something that isn't in your hands. The moment you stop trying to control what can't be controlled, your mind will feel lighter. There's an old story of a man who tried to push a huge rock up a hill. No matter how hard he tried, the rock wouldn't move. Tired and frustrated, he sat down. A monk passing by said, "Why do you push something that was never meant to move? Let go of it, and you'll find your way." This story reminds us that forcing things to happen or holding on to what should be released only makes the journey harder. True strength lies in knowing when to stop pushing. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means making room for peace. It means trusting life, even when you don't have all the answers. So, free your mind. Stop fighting what you cannot change. In that stillness, you'll find a deep, quiet strength and the peace that comes from within. Number 3. Simplicity brings true peace and joy. In today's world, life often feels busy and full of noise. We are surrounded by distractions, phones, emails, deadlines, and constant news. We feel pressure from work, relationships, how we look, and what we should be doing with our future. It's easy to feel weighed down by all these things. The more we try to keep up, the more overwhelmed we become. It can feel like we're carrying a heavy backpack filled with worries we don't really need. But Buddhism offers a simple and powerful truth. Happiness and peace come from living simply. It's not about chasing after success, money, or perfection. It's about letting go of what doesn't really matter and focusing on what does. The Buddha often taught that a simple life leads to a peaceful mind, not only in our daily habits, but also in our thoughts and emotions. One of his well-known teachings from the Dhammapada says, "There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path." This means we don't need to search for happiness somewhere far away or in some perfect future. Happiness is already here, in the present moment. When we stop trying to add more and start to appreciate less, we can feel calm, grateful, and at ease. When we choose a simple life, we stop chasing after things that don't bring lasting joy. We stop comparing ourselves to others or worrying about things we can't control. We give ourselves permission to breathe, to slow down, and to truly enjoy the life we already have. Zen monks follow a principle called shibumi, which means the quiet beauty of simplicity. One Zen master once said, "The simpler the life, the more meaningful it becomes." This idea teaches us that peace doesn't come from doing more, but from doing less, with more care and more awareness. When we clear out the clutter, both in our homes and in our minds, we can finally see what truly matters. Think for a moment. How many of your worries are really necessary? How often do you feel stress from things you can't change? Much of this pressure comes from trying to control too much, plan too far ahead, or hold on to things we don't need. But neither the past nor the future is happening right now. Only this moment is real. And in this moment, you have the power to choose a simpler way of living. A simple life is not a boring life. In fact, it can be more full and rich than you might expect. When we slow down, we notice the beauty in everyday things. A quiet morning, a smile from a friend, the feeling of warm tea in your hands. These small moments become sources of joy when we stop rushing and start paying attention. When your mind is full of too many thoughts, worries, and goals, it's hard to feel calm. But when you clear away the extra noise, you create space for peace, for kindness, and for meaning. You don't have to do everything, be everything, or fix everything. Sometimes just being present is enough. Simplicity also helps us get closer to who we really are. When we stop pretending or trying to meet every expectation, we reconnect with our true self. We begin to live from the inside out, not the outside in. And that brings a deep sense of peace and freedom. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means understanding that you don't need to hold on to everything. It means choosing what matters most and gently releasing the rest. So today, try asking yourself, what can I simplify? What stress or worry can I put down? What really brings me peace? Maybe it's spending time in nature, having a quiet moment to yourself, or simply breathing and doing nothing at all. In those quiet, simple moments, you'll discover that peace has always been close. Not in having more, but in needing less. Not in doing more, but in simply being present. And that, in the end, is the true key to lasting happiness. Number 4. Trust that everything changes. Your struggles won't last forever. Life is always changing. Nothing stays the same. Not our joys, not our troubles. In Buddhism, this truth is known as impermanence. It teaches us that everything, including our struggles, fears, and anxious thoughts, is temporary. No matter how heavy things feel right now, they will not last forever. The Buddha said, "All conditioned things are impermanent. Strive on with diligence." This means everything that arises, every feeling, thought, or problem is always in motion. Things change, they come and go. This understanding can bring comfort when we're stuck in overthinking, feeling like we're trapped in worry or pain. Often we overthink because we believe our problems are permanent. We fear that the sadness, fear, or pressure we feel now will never go away. But when we remember that everything is always shifting, we begin to feel hope. Nothing remains stuck. Even the hardest days pass. The storm in your mind will settle. Think of your emotions and thoughts like waves on the ocean. Some waves are big, some are small, but none of them stay forever. They rise and fall, one after another. You don't need to fight the waves, just let them come and go, knowing the sea will grow calm again. Here's a short story to help illustrate this truth. One day, a young disciple came to his teacher, a wise monk, feeling hopeless. "I feel like I'm drowning in sadness," he said. The monk handed him a glass of water and dropped a pinch of salt in it. "Drink this," he said. The boy did and made a face. "Too salty." The monk then took the same amount of salt and dropped it into a large pond. "Now drink from the pond." The water tasted fine. "The salt is like your pain," said the monk. "It doesn't change, but the space you hold it in does. Let your mind grow wider, and the pain will feel smaller." So, as you move forward, trust in change. Trust that your difficult moments will pass, just like clouds drifting across the sky. Keep breathing, stay present, and remind yourself, nothing is permanent. Even the hardest moments will fade, and peace will return. Number 5. Your thoughts come and go. They don't define who you are. We've all had moments when our minds feel full, so full that it's hard to think clearly. Thoughts come rushing in from every direction. Worries about the past, fears about the future, and doubts about the present, all mixed together like a loud storm inside our heads. In those moments, it can feel like we're drowning in our own minds, stuck in a fog we can't escape. But Buddhism offers us a peaceful way through this mental storm. The Buddha teaches that our thoughts are like clouds in the sky, always changing, never staying the same. They come and they go. And just like clouds, they don't define the sky. Our thoughts don't define who we are. We are not our thoughts. We are the awareness behind them. The Buddha once said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." This means that how we think shapes how we see and feel about life. But the key is not to grab onto every thought that passes through our mind. We don't need to believe every worry, fear, or idea that pops into our head. Not every thought is true. Not every thought deserves our attention. Think about sitting next to a river. You watch the water move, and with it, leaves float gently past. You don't jump into the river and try to catch every leaf. You simply notice them, watch them pass, and stay still. Your thoughts are like those leaves, something to observe, not something to chase or hold on to. When you practice letting your thoughts come and go without grabbing onto them, you begin to feel lighter inside. You no longer get lost in overthinking. Instead, you learn to stay calm in the middle of mental chaos. This is not about fighting your thoughts or trying to stop them. It's about seeing them clearly and letting them pass, just like clouds drifting across the sky. Here's a short story that helps show this idea. A young student once asked his teacher, a wise monk, why he always seemed so peaceful. The monk smiled and said, "Come, let me show you something." They sat by a small pond. The monk dropped a pebble into the water, creating ripples. "These ripples are like your thoughts," he said. "If you chase every ripple, you disturb the water even more. But if you sit still and just watch, the pond becomes clear again." The student sat quietly, watching the ripples fade. "See," the monk said softly, "peace comes when you stop chasing every thought." This story reminds us that we can't stop thoughts from appearing, but we don't have to follow them. We can let them rise and fall on their own. The more we practice this, the more space we create in our minds. With that space comes peace. The Buddha also said, "Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think." This means that when we attach ourselves to every negative or stressful thought, our life begins to feel negative and stressful. But if we step back and let those thoughts pass, we open the door to clarity, calm, and understanding. Letting go of our thoughts doesn't mean ignoring them or pretending they don't exist. It means not letting them control us. Thoughts are natural. They will come. But you get to choose whether to hold on to them or to let them float by like clouds in the sky or leaves in a stream. Each time you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, these thoughts are not me. They are just passing by. Notice them, allow them, and then gently let them go. Over time, this practice becomes easier, and your mind becomes more peaceful, like the still water of the pond after the ripples fade. So as you go through your day, remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the quiet observer, the calm presence behind the noise. Your thoughts are not permanent. They will come and they will go. And in learning to watch them without clinging, you will discover a deep sense of freedom and peace that has always been inside you. Let your thoughts drift like clouds. Let them pass like leaves on a river. And in that letting go, you'll find clarity, calm, and a deeper connection to the present moment. Number 6, be mindful. Let your breath bring you back to peace. In today's fast-moving world, our minds often feel busy and out of control. We jump from one thought to the next, thinking about problems, plans, and fears. This can leave us feeling stressed and lost in our own heads. But there is a simple practice that can help calm this mental noise: mindfulness. Mindfulness means being aware of what's happening right now. It's about paying full attention to the present moment, without judging or trying to fix it. We don't have to stop our thoughts or push them away. We just notice them and let them be. One of the easiest ways to practice mindfulness is by focusing on your breath. When your mind feels crowded or your heart feels heavy, stop and take a deep breath. Breathe in slowly, then breathe out gently. Your breath becomes your anchor. It brings you back to the present moment, where peace can be found. The Buddha once said, "When the mind is calm, the breath is calm." This shows how closely our breath and mind are connected. When we give attention to our breath, our thoughts start to slow down. The storm inside quiets, and we feel more centered. Imagine your mind is like a sky, and your thoughts are like clouds. The clouds may come and go, but the sky remains open and clear. Your breath is like a gentle wind. It helps the clouds move along without getting stuck. Each time you breathe mindfully, you remind yourself that you are more than your thoughts. Here's a short story to help explain. A young student once asked his monk teacher, "Master, my mind never rests. I can't stop thinking." The monk gave him a cup of hot tea and said, "Feel the warmth, smell the steam, sip slowly." The boy did as he was told. After a few minutes, the monk smiled and asked, "Where did your busy mind go?" The boy replied, "I was just here, with the tea." The monk said, "That is mindfulness." Like the boy in the story, we can learn to focus on one simple thing, like our breath, to bring us back to now. The more we practice this, the more peaceful and present we become. You don't need special tools or a quiet room. You just need your breath. Whether you're walking, working, or resting, you can always return to it. With practice, your mind learns to stay calm, even when life gets difficult. Think of your thoughts like leaves floating down a river. If you chase after each one, you disturb the flow. But if you watch them pass without grabbing on, the river stays calm, and so does your mind. Over time, mindfulness helps you see clearly. You begin to notice when your thoughts pull you away, and you learn how to gently bring yourself back. This practice won't make life perfect, but it will help you feel more steady and less controlled by worry. So the next time your mind feels too full, stop and breathe. Let each breath be a small reminder. I am here. I am okay. I am present. By practicing mindfulness daily, even for just a few minutes, you'll begin to feel more in control, more peaceful, and more connected to yourself. Overthinking won't have the same power over you. You'll find your balance again, one breath at a time. Thank you for watching. Now that you've heard these important lessons, it's time to put them into practice. Be here in the moment. Let go of thoughts that pull you into the past or push you into the future. Keep life simple and remember, nothing stays the same forever, not even your hard times. Change is always happening, so trust that better days will come. Your mind is strong. With time and gentle effort, you can learn to focus, quiet your thoughts, and feel more peace inside. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it too. Let's keep walking this path of awareness and calm together. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and may each breath bring you a little more peace. Until next time.